The following was recorded in front of a live studio audience at the Studio 21 Podcast Café. This is the United Podcast Network.
If you're building or buying or selling a home, the real estate crew's got news for you at the Real Estate House Party.
With attorney Rick Carter,
Real Estate House Party.
paralegal Kathy Holtshouser,
Real Estate House Party. Come in, have fun.
and comedian Toni V.
And also Frank Santorelli.
Now, here's real estate attorney Rick Carter.
Welcome and thanks for joining us here on the Real Estate House Party. I'm now going to introduce my legendary co-host here.
wait,
I'm going to go right to Frank Santorelli because I was told I
Who's
didn't give
the
him
producer around
I didn't give
here?
him the proper introduction last week, evidently. But this is Frank Santorelli, formerly of The Sopranos.
And he's still wearing pajama bottoms.
But are they different?
They're comf.
They're comfy.
I know.
That's the word, comf.
Comf.
Toni V's been very busy working the phones here.
First day?
First day in business.
I never bring my phone up, and I
No,
did.
and,
know,
and,
it's
Gu-
okay.
and Gus is calling, asking why you're using my machete
Yeah.
to cut up
Yeah.
a pumpkin.
That was a great show last week.
Yeah.
If you want to hear all
Those
about
points you were bringing up about interest
you.
rates were
Thank
very
you.
interesting
Thank
you. I know.
and
I
very
think
informative for
I
the
think
people.
I might have saved a lot of
Yeah.
people from the information we gave last week. I really do.
Did you want
I
to do
learned a lot.
Did you want to do a recap of what you're looking at the market right now and see what's happening like in this month?
Evidently, I can. Go
No,
ahead,
yeah,
Chrissy.
this time my hands up for real. No,
Go ahead.
but I feel like I have a head cold, so maybe I've just blacked out for a second.
Yeah?
Did we actually get to introducing
absolutely.
Frank fully?
You're not listening.
I thought we digressed again.
No, I skipped these two
Okay.
just to go right to
All
him.
right, then-
We're
check.
right on
Again,
track.
it's still Frank Santorelli.
Nobody needs to know who we are. We're only the backbones of this show.
I know. Yeah, but
All right,
that's
Frank
the way it
Santorelli.
goes.
Yeah.
All right. Who's going to be? Oh, he won't be.
Forgive my head cold. I was
No,
like, I
that's
feel
okay.
like we digressed straight into pajama pants again. I'm
No,
like,
no.
Well, yeah,
As
that's
Toni
kind of
said-
his MO.
As Tony said last week, we're
Anyway.
already derailed for this
Yeah.
show. So
Tony's phone rang. It threw me off. I
So
thought, I thought he was a
Tony's
professional.
busy texting. Do you want to give a
Excuse me,
recap?
people.
Go ahead.
When you get to me, I'll be listening.
Interest rates are holding.
Coming down a little bit. So
I thought I
in
read
the-
an article that they might bump up a little bit more.
They might not as bad as we thought.
Okay.
Where are they now?
So they
Around
did go into the
7?
sevens. Now they're
Yeah.
bumping down to the 6.
7%. That
Yeah.
is.
The feds were or the rumor was the feds were going to increase it. You told me to talk serious for a
I
minute.
know, but look at what I'm looking at.
Oh,
What is that? So you can take a nap?
Yeah, so you can't tell how disinterested I am. It's my poker face.
Oh my God.
no
Poker
tells
face.
on you, huh?
Yeah.
You look like a helicopter pilot.
We're talking
yeah.
about this for 2 minutes, Tony, okay?
All right.
Okay.
All right.
You know how I glaze over something.
Yeah, I know. You glaze. Start glazing.
So the market's probably good for buyers right about now.
It's a buyer's market.
A little bit, yeah.
And
Why,
the high
though?
They
end-
finally put some contingencies in the agreements
Yeah, but if
that we
it's-
got rid of for the longest time.
But if it's a buyer's market and the interest
cheating.
rates are up, why is it good for the buyers?
This is what I think. This is my personal opinion.
And you know a
And
lot.
he knows everything.
He's
I know
one of the
everything.
best.
Stop it.
He's one
I
of
don't
the
know if-
best
He
real
knows
estate
that pumpkin is a fruit.
It is. Yeah, sure.
I didn't know that.
This is what I'm
neither.
thinking.
Yes. Or you can make a pie out of it,
Right.
which makes it a fruit.
I know.
Well,
I think it's
Okay,
the
that's a good
seeds that
point.
do it.
That's good.
I was trying to think of something that
It wasn't a fruit. You were going to say tomato, which is technically a
a,
fruit.
a pizza.
But
Oh,
you can,
right.
You can make a
a
tomato
is a
pie.
pizza.
No, it's a fruit.
I got confused.
So we're already derailed.
Yeah.
Ask one
So go
question.
ahead. Why is it a buyer's
potato,
market?
potato.
Why is it a buyer's market?
Because I think it's a lot easier for rates to go down than prices to go down much more. So, like, I'll give you an example. Our parents bought their houses, and it was like 15%.
Right.
But no one could afford them. So you were able to buy a house. My literally bought an acre of land in Reading, Mass. for $25,000.
Where's Reading?
Oh, my God. Oh my God, Tony.
Reading is a little
Am
north
I a
of
saint for putting up
Yes,
with this?
you are.
And I,
it's north of Chelmsford a little bit.
Work in here.
If a woman who works for you doesn't know where your office is, that's a bit of concern.
She hasn't been there in a long time.
Hey, I was there a couple
But
months
there is
ago.
GPS.
I'm only kidding.
So that's my theory, and that's
but
it.
also, did you think that
Because rates can always come down, but
the
prices of houses
inventory
won't.
and
Right.
the inventory
Good
is there's more people thinking that they didn't miss that big.
Well, sellers
push?
are definitely thinking they might have missed it. So that's a good question because I think sellers now have to get in the real world because they're not getting what their neighbor got 6 months ago.
But
I was just going to say, how long has this been going on?
It's
I
been
know.
steadily like holding steady and maybe
But the last
falling a
6
tiny
months-
little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have been tough. Yeah.
Yeah.
really?
But that means that if you sell your house, but you have a low interest rate and you're going in to buy a new house, you're going to find what you want, but you're going to be paying more
Right.
for it with the
You know
interest rate.
how much bargaining power?
Yeah, I don't want to take a leak in anyone's water supply.
Thank you for that.
Tony, we weren't asking you to do
I
that.
know.
I don't remember us
I
offering that up.
appreciate that.
Right. But nothing's ever going to change until people realize this is all fake.
Right.
That it's
Right.
a bunch of rich guys who determine what the rest of us have to suffer through. And they make money no matter what. Is this not correct?
Yeah.
Then we can all go, here comes you might want to do a trigger warning, all this. But according to those in charge, we can all go fuck ourselves.
You know what, Tony? That is perfect.
I just summed it up, didn't I?
You did.
See?
Yeah, and when it trickles down to an idiot like me knowing what the deal is, the jig is up.
Right.
Wow, so you could have just...
I'm silent for the rest of the show.
I just noticed I'm so much bigger than you.
Yeah, I know. I lost weight. You're coming down.
Even though I'm
No,
so much
you've
bigger.
lost a ton
How
of
come you
weight.
don't have a Hawaiian shirt on today?
I did it.
No.
Shh. Next,
Doesn't know when to play
next
along.
week.
It's next week.
Frank, don't worry. The camera puts 20 or 30 pounds on you, so don't. You're a very
That's
tall
like the
man.
That's like the Italian fire story.
What's that?
Sorry to hear about the fire. Shh, that's Thursday.
The joke-offs begin.
So I thought Frank wanted to share a story.
Oh, yeah.
About how we met?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was a guy who was a comedian here, and his name was Phil, and he was a big, tall guy.
Okay.
And Letterman was interested in him, correct?
Yes.
And he was very well liked here, and he said to me, you got to come to Boston. Now, if he doesn't say this to me, my children aren't born.
Really?
Yeah.
I swear to God.
Because you're from Cleveland, right?
You're still in Cleveland,
Yeah, I'm in
Ohio.
Cleveland, and he's
Phil Van T.
trying to get me to come here.
Yeah. He had moved here.
So a couple things happened that were absolutely astounding, and one of them was come to Boston. Just come and hang out.
What do they call that? The butterfly effect? But go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's all right. And so I flew
too
here,
smart for
and
your
I'm
own
hanging
good.
out, and he says, we'll go to Tony V's open mic night at the Charles Playhouse. It's a Monday night,
Yeah.
How long ago was
Tuesday.
this? What year?
1985.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And I go, okay. He goes, you won't get up. There's too many comedians. There'll be 100 comedians in the room. There'll be 175 people packed into this place. It's insane, and you'll never get up. So there'll be nobody that books the shows there. Nobody goes there.
Why bother?
It's all comedians. Okay.
Can I digress for 1 second?
Sure.
Is this a Boston phenomenon, or did other
It's a Boston phenomenon.
Or did other parts of
It
the
was
country
mostly
do that?
Boston. I mean, because
Does he look like the Unabomber to me?
the-
or not?
I don't know what in the heck he's
The
doing.
Unabomber.
I'm distancing myself.
Oh,
Is that what they
I don't know why it's
Why
taken,
you-
I don't know why it's taken 7 years, but I'm distancing myself.
Have you guys been doing this 7 years? And
And
now
he's
is when you're calling me? Now?
No, we did it.
7 years. Nobody thinks. Let me call
Oh my
Frank
God!
Santorelli.
It's only been 6 months, Frank. Don't worry about it.
Since we've been back. So,
the Unabomber's been in the woods for 7 years. So
but
There were 7 clubs.
there was, yeah.
7
because it
comedy
started
clubs.
from the ground up. There was no scene here. It wasn't like New
Right.
York or L.A.
Right.
or
Cleveland
Chicago
certainly didn't
even.
do that.
No.
Yeah, but
No.
you had a club.
Yeah,
right, where you
yeah,
did
that's
start.
how it started. It was
Right.
the Cleveland Comedy Club, one club.
Right,
There was no offshoots.
right.
Do you
You
remember
guys
the
had
club?
31 nighters, 51
Yeah.
nighters.
Oh, my God. Well,
colleges.
because, yeah.
That's the whole draw. Come
Right.
here and work.
Because you have to also understand that New England's unique. Boston is unique. If you go an hour and a half in any direction but east, where you'd end up wet
In the water.
you'd be in
On a
another
pumpkin.
state. So then Rhode Island had one-nighters. Connecticut had one-nighters.
Plus, how many schools
New
are in that
Hampshire,
little radius?
A lot of colleges. We were making, a bunch of money.
Yep.
Cash
Money in colleges, one-nighters, corporate, and so it had an
Statue of
ecosystem.
Yep.
Yeah, and then people started moving here, and Frank was.
Anyway, I
one
come
of
in the
first.
door, and there's Kristen working the door,
My wife.
his
Yep.
wife.
Oh.
Oh.
And I walk,
Really?
say hi to her, and we come into the place, and it's mob, just like Phil said. And Tony comes walking up, and Phil goes, "Tony, this is my friend Frank. He's a comedian from Cleveland." Tony goes, "You're next."
Wow.
Just like that.
Yep.
I go,
Wow.
"What?" He goes, "Somebody didn't show up. Can you do 5 minutes?" I said, "Sure." Phil looks at me like, "Wow, okay,
You're
you're up."
working out pretty good.
Guess who's there? Everybody.
Everybody.
They said nobody was going to be there. Everybody's there.
So
Everybody
you
is
took
there.
a chance.
Everybody is there. Don Gavin, Crimmins just got off
Yeah,
stage.
Sweeney.
Sweeney,
Yeah.
Lanny.
Yeah.
Everybody's there. Paula Barkley.
Yeah, the guy
Billy
who ran the
Downs. The
place.
people booking shows are all there. I go up. I'm sensational.
He did a really nice
I
job.
blew the place
Yeah,
apart.
Yeah.
And only because it was Cleveland, I was used to working in. And everybody's like, bah,
Yeah,
bah.
no,
I'm going, bah. I'm killing. I come off stage and I have 2 weeks of work.
Wow.
Boom,
Yeah,
like that.
immediately. Yeah. I think
Get
you
a
were
date
working.
book, get a
I think
date
it was
book.
a Tuesday night. We were working together on Thursday.
That's it.
Wow.
You're next.
Yep.
Wow.
And so I started working here right away.
Yeah.
So
you stayed
Tony
here.
went, "You're next."
Yeah.
You're
Wow.
next.
That's nice. I love
We
that
walked in
story.
perfect timing. "You're next." I went up. I was next. I
He
went
did.
up.
He did.
So
very
what
well.
what were the clubs then? Comedy Connection.
There was the Comedy Connection. There was Nick's down the end of the street. There
Yeah.
was
Played against Sam.
Played against Sam.
Stitches.
Stitches was
Oh,
running.
Stitches, I remember.
Constant Comedy in Cambridge at the Ding Ho.
Ding ho.
Oh, that
those
was
were
that
just
was legendary.
Yeah, and those were just in town clubs.
Did you
yeah.
ever go to a place in Middleton?
Yeah, Stevie D.
Stevie D's.
Stevie D.
At the old Santa's
Do you know who
Village.
the owner is of that?
Stevie D.
Stevie
no,
D.
his wife is I think she's.
Oh, she's real estate now.
She's a real
yeah,
estate.
At your
Yeah, yeah,
Beauport
at
thing,
the
she
function.
reintroduced
It was an
herself.
old
is it?
breakfast joint.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
It was an old breakfast
Yeah,
joint.
yeah,
They
yeah.
raised
Yeah.
the roof.
They
They
did?
showed the pictures when you sat there in the
Yeah.
foyer. All the pictures.
What was,
Santa's
what was her
Village.
name again?
Diodario.
Yeah.
Oh
She
no, her
goes-
name. I don't know.
Denise.
Do you know Tony V then? I go, well, we just did a half hour
Yeah.
of a class together. I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess you might know him a little bit.
I know.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
she was married to Stevie D.
Okay.
I'm
And
laughing
Steve-
because you said that they raised the roof, but what I can remember of that club,
Right.
we went there a lot because we lived in that area.
Yeah.
Was that the ceilings were so low
Yeah.
and everyone smoked and the place was
Oh
just
yeah.
like
Oh yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah.
But it was the old Santa's Village was on that.
I didn't know
property.
that.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yep.
I have very
And that
fond
would
memories.
we would do 2 or 3 shows on a Saturday night
Absolutely, we
there.
did
The
3.
parking lot, the lines.
They had
Yeah.
to put a
Yeah.
light in.
Yeah.
They put a light in at the top of the driveway because there was so many.
So you made it here from
yeah.
Cleveland, never looked back.
Never
huh?
looked back.
No.
My mother's still going, "You moving back here?"
Ma?
Yeah, it is really weird.
she
how
saying that in a
the
hopeful
whole
way,
thing. I could tell you
or-
stories you wouldn't believe, but the bottom line was when Tony said that, it changed my life.
Did you ever,
Right.
did you ever live in one of their
He's
places?
my fault.
I believe
So you're
it.
indebted to him.
Well, it was almost like, a lot of people will say, how did you get your start? Drew Carey, Stephen Wright say Johnny Carson
Right.
exponentially changed their lives forever
Yep.
by saying yes to them, by either going like this or bringing them over to sit
Stephen
down.
Wright was the first one on.
Oh, I
One of the
remember
first
him.
ones.
From Boston, yeah.
From
A
Yes.
lot of guys had trouble getting in,
Right.
and I walked right in.
Right.
And he put me up, and everyone
yeah,
saw me. And then first thing Paul Barkley says, "Can you do a half hour?" I couldn't. He goes,
Right.
"Can you do a half hour?" I go, "Yeah."
But you never
yeah,
say
problem.
no. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You can't say no.
Oh no, pizza shop.
Yeah.
A pizza audition in New York. Did you bring your dough? I go, excuse me? You were supposed to bring a dough. You were supposed to go to a pizza shop and bring your own dough. You didn't bring your own dough. I go, no. He goes, oh. He gets on the phone. This is bullshit, man, where these people are supposed to come in here. Can you throw a pizza? Yes. Never threw a pizza. I know they do it on their wrists. I'm going like this, you know. Yes. Yes.
You say yes.
You ever handle a weapon before?
Yes.
Did you ever ask him if he could drive a bus before?
I heard that
Stole
story.
the words
Yeah.
right
You
out of
almost
my
killed
mouth.
I almost killed
Goldie
Goldie
Hawn.
Hawn,
Yeah.
Steve Martin, and who else?
Yeah. No, it was
Everyone.
those two,
He almost
yeah.
took out.
Almost took out about $500,000 worth of cameras.
Right. And that you had a motorcycle incident.
Yeah, on,
somewhat like that.
Rescue
On
Me.
Rescue Me, I didn't dump the mic. There was the aforementioned
Oh, the
Kenny
other guys
Rogerson.
did. Oh.
Yeah,
Kenny
we got,
Rogerson seems to.
they
need
wrote
to-
us
yeah.
an episode of Rescue Me. It was myself, Kenny Rogerson, and Kevin Knox.
Are we paying for this?
We were.
Yes.
They wrote an episode specially for us. I mean, so much so, I was doing Brotherhood at the time, and they held this episode because they wanted the three of us to play bikers.
So you, Kenny, and who else?
Kevin Knox.
Kevin Knox.
Kevin Knox.
Right.
Oh.
We were
But he
playing-
knew how to drive a bike.
We all supposedly knew how to ride a bike.
Right.
And so.
Even Kenny Rogerson.
I've seen Kenny Rogerson.
Well, I don't know. And anyway,
That was before.
please reference last week's show. So they write this episode. I can't do it. Brotherhood won't let me out to do it when they want to tape. And Dennis Leary, to his credit, said, no, this is written for these three guys. We'll wait and film it when Tony's ready. So we finish up Brotherhood that season. We're doing the episode. They take us down to New York. It's me, Kenny, and Kevin. And we're firemen from Boston. Methuen, actually, I believe.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. And we ride Harleys, and we're going down to pay tribute to the fallen firefighters in the episode from 9/11, and we're going to build them an eternal flame
Okay.
for their firehouse.
Right.
So they go, you can all ride motorcycles, right? We go, absolutely. Same thing, 100%.
Same with Frank
Yeah.
making pizzas.
Yeah, we go down, we get a hotel room. The next morning they come pick us up. We're out in the Silver Lake Studios. And the next morning, it's like 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. And there are three of the most gorgeous Harleys I have ever seen in my life.
You know how much those things are worth?
Yes. This had to be close to $500,000 worth.
Wow.
There was a full dress electric glide.
Oh my
There
God.
was a chopper.
The fat wheels and all that?
Yeah, with the extended fork. And then there was a duded up
I don't know what
sports
any of that means.
you
But
know, panic. So we all our eyes
$500,000.
widen.
You know what that means.
Our eyes widen. You know.
Yeah.
So Kenny goes, "I want the electric ride," and I go, "Okay, I'll take the chopper." And Kevin took the other bike. So the motorcycle wrangle is there. They back the bikes off. Now the scene is we gotta ride maybe, I don't know, 50 yards to make it look like they're gonna get a shot of us coming through Brooklyn or wherever we're supposed to be. We get on the bike. The bikes come down. They go, okay, let's rehearse one. Blah blah blah. Start up the bikes. I look, in about 10 seconds after I hear the engines, I looked on either side of me, and two of the most gorgeous bikes I've ever seen are on the ground.
oh my God.
And the guy's pulling his hair out, going, "You told me they could ride motorcycles." That's what he's just screaming. And I did one of the most cowardly things I've ever done in my life. I go, "You guys straighten it out back here. I'll be back." And I took off on the chopper and drove around. Yeah, I drove around. I think it's in the Bronx, Silver Lake. It's either Brooklyn or the Bronx. I can't remember where Silver Cup is. But I started driving.
Queens.
Is it in Queens?
It's in Queens.
I started driving around the city. And
That doesn't sound cowardly. That sounds.
I don't
pretty
even know
brave.
these guys.
I didn't
tell you they could ride
I
bikes.
just took off. I go, "I'll be back."
How did Kevin Knox bail? What happened there?
I don't know.
He knows what
I
he's
don't
doing.
think. Yeah, but I don't think they realized how much bike they had with
Sure,
them.
they're
Right.
heavy.
The
Yeah.
electric guy especially is humongous. It's So I drove around for about 15 minutes while they straightened it all out and shined up the bikes again. And then suddenly
You said you amateurs know what you're doing yet?
and then I pulled back up and suddenly the scene had changed. They go, "You're just going to pull the bikes in." about 6 feet. I go, okay.
Hey, at least they could
I
think
got
on
a ride.
their feet, right?
I got a ride.
Yep.
And the bike was great. I had a ball. It was fun.
That's
Drive around
awesome.
a chop around there.
Yeah, it was great.
At Kevin Knox's eulogy, Lenny Clark got on stage. They had his bike up there.
Yeah.
And he says, Kevin didn't tell anyone this, but he gave this to me.
He also said, I think this would be a good time to sell some CDs.
Kevin Knox is the best. Hey, trivia.
Good.
What's the biggest selling candy for Massachusetts for Halloween?
I got it. Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
Nope. That's what I thought, too.
I know.
Years ago, I would have said.
Starburst.
Years ago, I would have said Necco wafers.
Nope.
I love Necco
Saltwater
wafers.
taffy.
Nope.
Wait, for Halloween purposes?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Okay, I would say Starburst is close.
Yeah.
Skittles.
Chuckles.
I already said,
No.
I know what it is. Sour Patch Kids.
You didn't read my notes.
No, I didn't read your notes.
Yep.
Sour Patch Kids.
Yeah, I would never
Yeah,
have
what's
got
with
that?
that?
Wow.
I know.
The kids
I
that
want sour candy.
I was just going to say, I was with a bunch of young kids at a show once. We were driving, and I'm in the car with them, and they go, let's get candy. They go, pull over.
I would
They
never
don't
have
even
picked
know.
that
I
one.
said, okay, I'll buy it. I'm into candy. What the heck? We go in there. They're getting the sour apple green things. And I'm like, what is with you
And I
guys? What are
say
you,
I know.
12?
Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, Hershey Kisses,
Yeah.
You're up there. All right, what's Rhode Island's? You
Sour
haven't-
Patch Kids.
Taffy.
You haven't
Stuffed
said it yet.
clams.
Taffy. Saltwater taffy, no?
Rhode
Island.
Island. They're weird down there.
Black Cows.
No, actually, it's not a bad one. It's just, these are top ones in the whole
Milky
state.
Way.
Orange slices.
Nope, Twix.
Twix. Oh, I like a Twix.
Oh, I could do a Twix.
good.
New
That's a
Hampshire is the
chocolate
only
bar.
one normal one.
Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
Close.
Oh, Hershey's Kisses.
Nope.
Reese's Pieces.
This is the one I would pick almost number one, but
What?
M&M's.
Oh, I like M&M's too.
Did you ever hear that
You
story
know
about
that one?
M&M's? Did you ever hear the story about M&M's?
No, go ahead.
Which one?
In
I
the
have
movie
one story.
E.T., Steven Spielberg said product placement. So you look on the thing, it's got Joy dishwashing liquid like this. They paid him, but he wanted to pay M&M's
He wanted them
to do the
Right.
candy for him to leave, like
Right.
Hansel and Gretel. And they turned him down.
No.
Wow.
And apparently that man was fired
He should have been.
because
Should've
they
been.
went over to Reese's Pieces.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We want nothing to do with this. We want nothing to do with this, and kicked whoever the Spielberg
Well-
representative out and said,
Wow.
no. And they went over to Reese's Pieces. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
Wow.
I like Reese's Pieces too.
Yeah.
Steven Spielberg, I think it was him. He made a cameo appearance in. Anyone?
Close
do.
Encounters of the First Kind.
No, I know.
You probably know.
Blues Brothers.
Very good.
Yeah, he's at the very, very end.
Yeah.
He's the guy at the clerk at the
Yeah,
thing.
exactly.
That funny.
Exactly. Wow. Go ahead.
You have a question?
I do. I was told a couple weeks ago that I should raise my hand as opposed to.
No. That was 4
That's
years
a Catholic
ago.
school. That's a Catholic school thing.
And you have never done it
And you've
once.
never done it then. So
Yeah, but
we were a little shocked when you raised your hand.
Okay.
Question.
The question. Oh, I have a question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Are we going to talk about anything about staging or real estate?
Frank's been here for like 3 weeks now, and you're just asking this now.
That's why he's wearing his
right, go
pajamas.
ahead.
All right.
Sleep
How about
over.
this?
I know all about
All right. I'm gonna
staging.
give you one more. I'm gonna give you one more trivia for Halloween. Then we'll get into it. What does?
Yes, we're going to get right into it.
But I
After
digress.
There's one more piece of foolishness.
About candy.
All right. Alabama has literally a law that you cannot wear this for Halloween.
The devil.
Close.
The devil went down to Georgia. Isn't that where that's? Oh,
Horns?
Georgia.
Horns or something?
No. I think the reverse.
Angel.
A clergyman. They literally have a law. You cannot dress up.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Why?
I'll be damned.
I guess it's.
You didn't read the.
No,
read
I
why?
guess. Well, I guess the reasoning is, they don't think it's
Appropriate.
respectful.
Sure.
Or like a pregnant nun. I mean, they sell that costume.
With hooker shoes. They use
Sure.
So where is this again?
Alabama.
Of all the things Alabama has to worry about,
Right.
that's where
Right.
that's their line in the sand.
So you can't.
Literally, you look it
You're
up.
not
There's an
allowed to dress as a
Alabama
but there is
law.
no ban on dressing as a ghost and wearing a sheet.
Exactly.
No.
With nothing
Alabama.
underneath it.
With eyes cut out.
Right.
Yes, I'm just
Nope.
saying. Trigger
No.
warning.
Yes.
Yeah.
Trigger.
That apparently is allowed, but clergymen
Right,
is not.
right,
Clergy,
right,
no.
right.
Okay, cool.
You can't
Good
do
to know.
that.
Good to know.
Right.
All right, let's talk about houses and Halloween. Winchester House. Someone bought a Winchester house recently, opened up the walls, and literally found skeletons in the walls.
Nice.
Is that a true story?
It is.
Do you know
has we ever said anything on this show?
What
true?
are your sources?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was. And what's the address?
I didn't get the address.
Well,
If you really want me to do it, I'll look it up. But I have got this from.
not 36
Actually,
Pack Ave.
Wait. Let me ask one follow-up question.
go ahead.
What's the purpose of this story?
The purpose is. Why? We need a purpose to.
Just
They found dead people in the walls.
Yeah, but-
What do you mean? What's
Yeah,
All right, you want me to tell you the purpose?
Yeah.
Seriously? Does that now owner of the house
Right.
have to disclose a possible murder, suicide down the road to potential buyers of his house down the road? Now that he
Down
knows.
the road.
Down the road. That was the purpose.
Wait.
well, you
this
know
is,
what I would
Is
do?
he going to leave them?
No, he cleaned them up.
No, they
Well,
took
then-
them out.
No, you don't have to
okay,
tell.
there you
You know
go.
what I would do is
What would you
I
do?
would have just buttoned the whole house right back up.
And then a Schulte.
Yep.
Would that be? Would that follow the house
I know.
around?
What's that?
Would that follow the house around? Meaning,
Right.
would the real estate
That's what
companies
he's asking.
Yeah.
say,
You have
"Oh,
to
by
say-
the way,
Disclose that.
someone
We
was
found some
killed"?
skeletons.
So
I think-
in Massachusetts, do you have to disclose if there was a murder?
Yes.
Suicide? Answer is no.
Oh,
No.
Unless asked.
unless ass. I'm sorry, I
No.
always get that
All right.
confused.
Best piece of information we've ever given out.
I know.
First question when you're looking for a house, you walk in the
Was
door.
anyone
Was
ever
there
murdered?
anyone ever murdered in this house? Yes.
I like that.
So the answer is, if you found skeletons,
Literally found skeletons
You
in the
don't have
closet.
You're
to
assuming there was
disclose
foreplay. I mean, foul play.
Well,
Right,
what
like they
are
could have
you
been
thinking
killed,
about?
Maybe they were doing foreplay and they got stuck in the wall.
but they got killed somewhere else, and then they put them in the wall.
Or maybe they went in the wall.
Well, maybe they were mafia owned. The house was mafia
wow.
owned.
We have totally missed this
Well,
subject.
there's the movie. The
Did they have
story.
teeth?
Wait a minute. Edgar Allan Poe's Telltale Heart.
Heart, yeah.
Is the last brick.
They put the brick with the guy. Right.
The guy's in there
Right.
looking, and he puts the last brick in, and bricks
Maybe it
the
was
guy.
a game of hide and seek that just got way out of control.
Oh man!
At some point you hear, "We're here. We're
Boy,
here."
you're good at this game.
I hear them, but I can't find them.
Ed Long gone having a schlitz.
Well, the creepiest part of that story is that the cat is still alive in there because he's living off the dead body.
Yeah, that you have to disclose. House comes with a cat, but
How do
only
you, oh,
Why is a cat
living in
200
the wall?
pounds?
right.
Oh my god!
But he only lives on human flesh.
Look at Chrissy's face.
It goes from like amused to confused, never really to discuss it.
This is the
just, like,
greatest thing I've ever been a
it's,
part of.
yeah. 'Cause it part
I
of me-
just have to say, there's free coffee.
right?
There's free coffee.
There's free
And
conversation.
there's free coffee.
Chrissy used to bring a pen to this and write down
I knew a
notes for the
guy
show.
that hung
No, I
out at the
gave
host
up.
trough that said he learned more in the host trough than he ever learned anywhere
Of
else.
course.
That's what I'm doing here. I'm learning more here than I've ever learned in my life
Listen,
anywhere.
all kidding aside, we've learned a lot. We have.
Absolutely.
We've learned about mortgage rates.
We've learned that
about
how Frank met you.
how we met. We heard a nice story, and now we know the first question you ask when you're buying a house: has anyone
Is there any
died on
dead
premises?
people in here?
Right.
Right.
But can I ask another question?
ahead.
Is like, I would think that if you found skeletons in your closet, that you should probably, or in your wall, you should probably call the police.
Yes, that's the
Yeah.
first thing.
Oh, yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Of course.
What-
Okay.
This is a real estate show, though. So this isn't a crime show.
Unless,
Unless you want to switch over to
But you
crime
could al-
show, because I love that subject too.
But you
Yeah.
can also
We could be
feign
turning this into a
ignorance
true
too, right?
crime
You could say, I
podcast.
don't know.
I don't want.
And then how would they
I saw
find that out?
Sawzall cuts all the way around. How did you tell me that you didn't see that?
You said you didn't know what a Sawzall was, and all of a sudden you're using it.
I
And
know.
how's
Wait a
Rick
minute, so
supposed
they
to know
find
what that
the-
is? He doesn't know how to use one. How would he know it's a sawzall?
Because it's a reciprocating
Actually,
saw.
related to all this, I have been in honor of Frank Santorelli, formerly of The Sopranos. I was looking up like murders and things like that.
Ooh.
So if there's
Watch your back.
If there's a murder in Reading, they're going to go to my computer. And the last 25 things I've looked up.
It murders.
Yeah, murders.
Yeah.
How to commit a certain murder.
So if anybody close to you
Right.
somehow,
Trigger warning.
Right,
We're
trigger
talking about
warning.
murder.
Yeah.
Tony, you're playing your role well today.
I heard a good one there for how they caught someone though. They supposed that the death was right around a pool, but it was late night. They really couldn't catch the guy. You know how they found it?
How?
They found out the water bill. They found out at from 1 to 2 in the morning, he used 150 gallons of water cleaning off the patio. So they bagged him on that.
So you know what I'm going to tell you guys is just don't commit murder.
All right.
Because you're
That's fair
always
enough.
going to get caught.
Killjoy.
I guarantee there's people out there that just found that false.
Well, no, I
Guaranteed.
know, but I think with the technology and the DNA and all
Oh,
the
you
way,
can't get away with anything.
No.
Anyone who thinks so.
Right.
Oh, the DNA is
Oh,
unbelievable.
DNA. There's cameras everywhere.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
They say
Listen,
cameras.
your
Oh,
car.
I said DNA, and when he says it, it's a good idea, but
You're a woman.
It's
Your
an
car-
excellent idea,
your-
Tony.
your
I
truck-
thought what you brought up was very well received.
Your truck is leaving the crime scene and it catches a tree branch.
yeah.
Okay. Those seeds and all that stuff come from that tree.
Right, right.
That's what they can
So
do
now they're looking at DNA.
This is an oak tree, which
Right.
means there's 10,000 of these in the general area. But guess what? We
Right.
know that this came from this tree
Right.
and that you were here.
You know, I have said this for years, and I stand by it. If you're going to murder somebody, they always find them in a shallow grave.
right,
Right.
right.
Take the time, dig the grave a little deep.
See, we are giving information.
You see what I'm
today.
saying?
Yeah,
Take
yeah.
the time up front. Save yourself grief on the back end. That's
Yeah,
all I'm
that's
saying.
All
Get
right.
a piece of sod.
You're already digging.
Can I tell
Get
you
a
about
piece
this
of-
other murder
Yeah.
they saved? And thank you very much for that. You've given a lot of insightful
Yeah.
information today.
He is a Unabomber.
Well, when you talk about murders, then he got into the conversation there.
Now he's going back into
All right,
his.
this 90-year-old killed his stepdaughter.
Oh, Jesus.
And they figured it out from his Fitbit. Yeah.
Bang, 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 like that.
Yeah, they said the Fitbit, first of all, showed a lot of activity going on right when the girl was getting killed.
Oh, boy.
Right.
Right. But does that beg any other questions?
Yeah, don't get a Fitbit.
Don't get a Fitbit.
What do you mean activity? Like just moving around?
Yeah, like so if you're typically.
You're 90 years old. He hasn't moved that much.
That's my
Exactly.
question.
Right.
What pissed him off at this point?
Right.
Right.
A
And I gotta,
90-year-old all of a sudden kills his
I thought you were
stepdaughter.
concerned about the Fitbit.
I gotta
I know,
imagine
I know.
the stepdaughter's like 70.
Right, 68.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And gets killed from this guy who just
Yeah.
couldn't take it anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The look of confusion on my face was more for, would that really change someone's opinion on buying a house? Like, really?
Oh, about the skeleton?
The skeletons.
Yeah, people
Some
are.
people like that.
Oh, was someone murdered here? Yes, I don't want it. Why, you think that murderer, like, he does it, it's a geographical
house.
murderer.
All right, we
Yeah.
can talk about
Like,
that then. We have some people who won't close on certain days.
Oh yeah, different religious holidays.
They won't close. Yeah.
We had a client that was actually going to forfeit his deposit. I forget which holiday
Right,
it was.
right, because the closing date was on a day that he wasn't supposed to sign important
anything.
documents.
Mercury in
Right.
retrograde, was it?
Yeah.
It was kind of like
yeah.
that full moon and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But no. It was a real holiday. I forget which one. But I said, doesn't he know that he signed a purchase and sale agreement? That was the date. And Rick says he doesn't care. He will lose his
Oh, this is
deposit.
San Diego. What was his pitcher's name? He wouldn't pitch on Saturdays.
Oh, Sandy Koufax.
Sandy
Sandy
Koufax.
Koufax.
But that
Yeah.
was for religious reasons.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 He wouldn't pitch on the Sabbath.
But it's a very.
It happened a half a dozen times where he
well,
had
the
to lose
Sabbath,
his rotation.
But
turn.
Sabbath
answer-
is a Sunday, though. Just
Not in the Jewish religion.
Oh.
Sabbath is the Sabbath.
Oh my goodness! I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
We're gonna learn a lot
Tony's.
today.
Think
he's
of
a
this.
wealth
You know,
of information.
technically, the week starts on Sunday, so the seventh day is Saturday.
But we Christians call the Sabbath Sunday,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. That's why they got rid of us, the Jewish people.
All right,
All
it's
this-
time for us to go.
A
So-
lot of explosive information coming out now.
I've learned a lot. I've
why we
learned a
got
lot.
Genesis.
That's it? You think that's it for us? Okay.
Where are you going,
Well-
Frank? You're going to say bye. Fixing his
Again,
hair.
He's gotta
it's the
fix his
people in
hair.
charge decided that Monday was the beginning of the week for work reasons. Sunday is the first day of the week.
If you ever
Sunday,
want to
Monday,
chime
Tuesday,
in on
Wednesday,
this,
Thursday,
call
Friday,
Carter Law
Saturday.
Office, 781-944-9222. Thanks for joining
And
us here on the
don't murder
Real Estate
anyone
House
in your
Party.
house.
We got the paralegal extraordinaire, Kathy Holtshouser. We got the Unabomber. We have Toni V. We got Frank Santorelli from Cleveland, Ohio. Probably give us some Joe Walsh stories the next time you come in, all right? Yeah.
All right. I
Thanks for joining.
hope he comes back.
I hope he comes back.
I hope he didn't scare him.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Café, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.